what is it that will make or break your stock in the next 12 months?
Ooh, great question. Look, I think there's a bunch of catalysts here. One being drilling here. As I kind of laid out, if you look at some of the comps, right? We had success drilling back in 2021. We ended up being the number one performing gold stock globally that year. If you look at something like Hercules, I mean, their stock was trading at 20 cents. There'd been 300 drill holes that were shallow. They drilled a deep one. They hit the porphyry. The stock went to $1.60. It was $1.68, I believe it was. End
So,
up.
so if it's one of these 17 holes
Mhm.
that you're drilling this summer
It can
hits
do
what
incredibly
you,
well off the back of that. Yeah, without doubt. But that's
and
only one of the catalysts. I mean, the other
okay,
one is obviously the transaction at Palmer. Getting a transaction there brings in, a significant amount of equity for the company. That's going to be a huge catalyst as well. JVing out the other projects can be catalysts as well because they'll be drilling and spending money while we're retaining equity in that. And then future M&A, right? If Palmer's out the door and we're sitting in that roughly $15 million cash range and we've got $25 million in equity and we decide to go and pick something else up as well, that can be a huge catalyst as well. So it's catalyst rich this year for sure. With a
but
group that,
also I
sorry,
imagine the market disappointment if you don't hit in these 17 holes what you hope to hit.
you know what, for where we're sitting today with a cash balance, with an equity balance, yes, you always want to drill and hit on all your holes. I think we'd be hard pressed to drill 17 into this area and not get some joy. That would be a first for Madison. It carries an awful lot of grade. Now, drilling down to the porphyry is going to be a different thing. That's going to be new for us, but the risk reward ratio there is incredibly high, and those
Right,
shots are taken.
and there's six of those, right? Is that right? Six holes? Yep. Okay.
Correct. Correct. Yep.
All right. Good stuff. Well, the stock seems incredibly cheap now, historically. Sitting
I'm
on a
glad
great
you said
asset
it.
with
Yeah.
15 million in cash, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it
So,
really does. I'm just asking myself, low market cap, lots of interesting results. It really is a story that hangs together. So are we missing anything? Is there anything that worries you guys that we haven't talked about?
What are the things that keep me up at night? I'd like to get the transaction done on Palmer. That obviously takes some work. That's something I'd like to get done. That's probably what keeps me up at night. I don't worry about the drilling because I know Eric and the team are bright and hardworking and they will take the best shots. Those shots will be what they will be. We've had great success there in the past. I'd love to see us hit in the porphyry and either God put the porphyry there or he didn't. That's going to be one of those two things, right? So we'll take those shots. So that doesn't keep me up at night. The transaction probably keeps me up at night because that's the work that I have to focus on and get done. And then from there, the world's your oyster at that point.
what are the odds of that transaction happening in this calendar year?
Aye.
Okay. Great answer. Okay.